Hey, alright everybody, look, I haven't got a box. Right, okay, let's put an imaginary box by here. That's better. Right, now, why haven't I got a box? Because I've got the thing that was in the box, but I haven't got the box. I accidentally took the box with other boxes to the refuse centre, so I haven't got the box anymore, but I've still got the bike. So, let's get the bike by here and have a look what it's all about. So here it is, all put together. Now it's the Evercross EK30 Pro. Now I did do a review on a bike like this before. It wasn't the Pro version. This is the new Pro version with quite a few differences. We'll try and get into what the differences are a little bit later on in the video. But first of all, what do they have to do to put this bike together? Well, indicators there and down by there, look, front and rear. I had to put them on. The handlebars had to be put on. The front wheel had to be put on. The headlight. This front basket here, optional. Then it is like down here, by here, look. They got a front mudguard there and a rear mudguard there. That's what I had to do to put it all together. Oh, and also the pedals. Right, okay, let's have a quick look by here. Like I said, there's the front mudguard there. We got forks there, and they got a black insert there, look. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Along by here. The battery's housed in there, along there. And on the other side, there is this panel here. It does come off, so you can take the battery out. Then down by here, you've got a little sort of carrying area there. You can put some stuff down by there where the pedals are. If you go by here then, we've got dual rear shock springs, but they look like that. They are quite firm. At the back there, look, you've got a little carrying area there. Now, the one thing about that is, if you do put something here, it will block the tail light and the brake light. So the tyres here, they are better than the usual ones. They're the Kenda branded ones with the motorcycle type sizing on them. They are the same size as the 20 times 4 inch ones, but they are got a motorcycle size. I think it's 90 by 100 by 16, I believe. And down by here, we got 180mm discs and we got hydraulic brakes. So this is what it looks like with me sitting on the bike. Very, very comfortable, like a motorbike position almost. So it's very, very comfortable. If I put the pedal up here, you will see that your knee is going to come up quite high, but this bike has loads of torque, so you won't be putting much pressure on your legs. And we'll find out about that a little bit later on. But I'm 5'10", 178 centimetres or 1.78 metres. And as you can see, this is what it looks like with me sitting on the bike. And it's very, very comfortable. And somebody's beeping their horn. Looking up here on the handlebars, you've got the half twist throttle, which is legal. That's the legal half twist throttle. 7-speed Shimano. You have got hydraulic brakes. They got a little sticker on here. There's the QR code there, and there's a few things on there. Let me just take that off there, out of the way. It does say a few things on there, like instructions, basic instructions. Over by here, you've got all your controls. There is a bell there as well, little bell. You've got your on-off button, minus button, plus button, headlight, walk function, indicators, and your M button to change certain parameters. So let's try and turn it on for a second here, like that. If I hold it down, and I think you've got to go, it is 0000000, the password, and then you press the M button, and it comes on like that. Nice big display. Now it's flashing by there. There is an app to download. I'll show you the app a little bit later on. We'll download that and have a look what's going on. But you can see by there, look, if I press the indicators like that, it flashes on that side there. And it is giving you a audible beep. And if you press it again like that, it stops. You can do the other side like that, look. There we go. And it is actually beeping, so you know it's on and you'll turn it off, which is very, very nice. And also, if you look at the little display here, it's green at the moment. If I press the plus button to number 2, it goes blue. I hope you can see that. And if you go to the full power, it goes red. Very nice. Now, we have got a front headlight, so let's just hold down this plus button and the headlight should come on. So that's what the headlight looks like. I'll turn it around now so you can see the rear light. Okay, so there's the tail light. Give it a bit of a flash there like that. Lovely and bright. But like I said, if you do put something in your luggage, it is going to cover the light. Now I did say I'd show you this side of the battery. There's a little thing here, look. You take off this here, you undo that there. Now these are quite tight, so you are going to have to loosen them off half a turn, and then it slides forward and this comes out. You can take the battery out. So I will put the battery specs up on the screen now, somewhere above the battery, so you can see what the battery specs are for the Evercross EK30 Pro. Okay, so I have got the magnet of truth. So let's have a quick look at the frame. The frame is made of steel, so is that bit there, look. The pedals, they're steel. The wheels, aluminium. The back part there, look, the swing arm, that is made of steel. These springs are steel. The top bits there are aluminium. Down the front there, the forks, steel. Handlebars, aluminium. Okay then, there you go. That was a look around the bike. Let's get it out on the old open road. Right, okay, we'll do a bit of a speed test by here. I'm just doing pedal assist, and it's saying 16 miles per hour on the speedometer, and I'm just ghost pedaling now, so 16 miles per hour, that's when it cuts out. 15.5, 16 miles per hour. So let's turn to the left up by here, and we'll go up towards the mountain. We'll do a hill test. This bike is set in a legal mode. Now, let me just turn by here first. If I do the throttle, which I will do in a second, it will only go up to 6 kilometers an hour, and is that 3.6 or 3.7 miles per hour? So let's carry on up here. Right, so we'll take a right by here, and we'll go up towards the hill. Now what I can actually feel is that even though this bike is set to the, let me just change our camera angle because it's all over the place. Let me get over to a safe place to pull over by here. It's a pigeon on the road there, look. So right, let's get up by here. Change the camera angle because it's gone over there for some reason. Tuck myself in by here. Right, let's change this camera angle. Right, okay, now if I twist the throttle down by there like this, like that, it goes up to, well, we're on a hill at the moment, so let's have a look where it's gone to. 3 miles per hour. So it gets you off the mark, but it's not the fastest. Well, it's a legal throttle basically. Now, let me try the pedal assist. We're on a bit of a hill. Let's see how many revolutions of the crank before it starts going. I think I can hear a car come in. Right, so that was, let me get up by here first because there's a car, I think there's a car coming behind me. I'll pull over by here now. Right, let's try that again. So let's get up by here. And we'll try let's come to a stop first. Right, crank. 1 full revolution. 1 full revolution, and you're away like the clappers. Well, until it gets to 16 miles per hour. Right, we've gone in the tunnel, so a good time to test the light. So I'll hold down the light button, like so. There's the light there. It's quite a bright light, but there's a funny beam pattern. So it's not a wide beam pattern. It's very bright in the middle part, and it's sort of dim around the outer parts. I don't know if you can see behind me. The brake light is quite very, very, very bright. The brake light is in the back. Right, let's get up this hill. Right, so on the dashboard by here, you've only got 3 levels of assist. 1, 2, 3. So we'll try this hill now, see what it's like. It should be pretty easy. Here we go. The steeper part is coming by here now. Now, my knees are coming up to about 90 degrees. So this bike isn't very good for pedaling without any assistance, but we're going up this hill now. Bags of torque, it's getting up here easy. We're still doing 14 miles per hour. Just ghost pedaling, just making my legs go around, and it is getting up here really easy. It's very good. This is very, very good. Yeah, we're gonna get to the cattle grid. Super easy bike here. And like I said, even though my legs are coming up to 90 degrees, I'm not putting any pressure on the pedals, so it's not uncomfortable in any way. It's very comfortable actually. So we'll stop by the cattle grid bike here, and we'll just have a look at the seat. Right, it got up there super duper easy. So let's just put the stand up and we'll have a quick look at the seat and my sort of thoughts on the suspension at the back. Right, okay, you've got plenty of seat to play with here, but this is the squish test. So it is soft, but firm, if that makes any sense. So you can see me squishing it there, look. But it's like a foam, it feels like a memory foam type sort of sensation, if that makes any sense. So it's got a give, but it's firm. Now, so the seat, nice and wide, firm, but squishy. The rear suspension is, for my weight, I can't feel any sort of bounce in it. It feels quite rigid, if that's the right word to use. So the rear suspension does feel kind of firm. It might loosen up over time, but at this moment, it is feeling a little bit firm. So we got halfway up the hill, like so. There's the hill down there. We've got to go up the rest of the hill, and when we go up the rest of that hill, what we'll do is we'll check the what are we going to check? We're going to check the brakes, and we'll do the walk function as well. So let's get up the rest of that hill. So up the rest of the hill, let's just try this twist throttle on this hill by here. So it does get you going, look, right? Gets you going, then you can sort of turn the crank around, and it's a little bit easier to get going then. Now, like I said, you sit in quite low, your knees are coming up high, but because it's got all that torque, like the bike has been sort of locked to the legal speed limit, but you've still got all the torque, if you know what I mean. And in e-bike world, well, in my e-bike world, torque is what you want. We all like a nice bit of torque because it gets you up the hills easy. This is the steeper part of the hill, and it's still coming up here easy. So let's get up by here. We'll get to nearly the top, and then we'll try the walk function and see what that's like. Now, these brakes do feel pretty good so far. I've been using them, so we'll do a brake test at the top of the hill. Right, so I'll come to a stop by here somewhere. I think by here will do, like that. Come to a stop, and then I'll get off the old bike and we'll engage the walk function, which is the minus button, I believe. So let's just press that like so, and there we go. So what we got, I'm going to say that walk function is about, it is saying 1 mile per hour. So it's quite a weak walk function. Let's see if I can hold it back. Yes, I can hold it back. So it's just barely carrying the weight of the bike up this hill. It is a fairly steep hill, but it's I'm going to put that in the sort of lower, weaker walk function. Now, I could stop the walk function like that. Let me press the brakes to disengage the walk function. You could use the twist throttle, but you've got to be like careful you don't turn it too much. So there we go. So you've got the option of the walk function and the legal twist throttle. So you've got two ways of taking it up the hill if you want to if you want to get off the bike for one reason or another. Now, we're on a hill again. So let's try the throttle like that. Get ourselves going and then leave go of the throttle. And see, it does make it easy. It does make it a lot easier on hills. Now we'll get to the top of this hill by here. We'll turn around and we'll try the old zoom brakes by here. And we'll see how well it stops. I got a feeling it's going to stop well, because the brakes do feel good, but the bike is carrying a lot of weight. I don't mean just my weight, I mean the bike itself. It's not a light bike, it is a heavy bike. Let's turn around. Now, I'm trying to turn around, and the other thing I've noticed is the handlebars, they don't turn that far. It's not a very good turning circle, so I've got to go forward like that, then go back like that, a bit like a motorbike I'd say, and then turn around again. So let's get down this hill, get to about 15 miles per hour, try and find a dry bit to pull the brakes on. Ready, 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, right. Now, I was going a little bit too fast then. I went a bit faster than usual and downhill. So the braking distance, let me just get off the bike and show you. I did say the bike was carrying a bit of weight. Now you don't have to pull the levers that hard. They are very, very good. But I did skid from up here. But, like I said, I was going a little bit faster than usual. So let's get down by here. Let's jump back on the bike again. I think I might take this bike. Should we do a bit of off-roading today as well? Let's do a bit of off-roading a little bit later on. So we'll go back down the hill and we'll find the little bit of off-road stuff that I usually do, and we'll try it on there. But my thoughts on the rear suspension, if I sort of, it's firm, it's very, very firm, these rear springs. They don't seem to be moving at all under my weight. So if you're a bit heavier than me, this is still going to support you fine. So what we'll do next now is we're going to go down this hill just with gravity, and we'll see how fast we can go down this hill just with gravity. Not touching the throttle, not touching the pedals. We're just going to let the bike, the weight of the bike and the weight of me go down the hill, and we'll see how fast the speedometer goes to. Now, because it is the end of summer, beginning of autumn, there's still a lot of leaves on the trees down there, so I can't quite see around the corner. So I might, it all depends how brave I am, I might have to pull the brakes a certain part of the way down, but I'll try not to. I'll try my best not to. So here we go. Down the hill, 7 miles per hour, 8 miles per hour, 9 miles per hour. It's picking up speed quite fast, 10 miles per hour, 11 miles per hour, 12. What's the handling like? It does handle very well. You've got nice wide handlebars, even with one hand. 18 miles per hour, 21 miles per hour. There's a person on the road as well. Try and go past them. 24. Right. I did pull the brakes a little bit then. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, I better slow down, I better slow down. There we go, and across the cattle grid, like so. Oh, blimey. It handles really well. Anyway, let's get down here. Right, okay, I've got it in pedal level assist 1, so we'll just see what it does in level 1, like so. We'll pedal off, we'll see what kind of speed we get on level 1. Level 1 is 9 miles per hour, so it shoots up to 9 and then it stops at 9 miles per hour. We'll go into level 2. Level 2 is 12 miles per hour. Then you've seen 3, which is the full power, up to 16 miles per hour. Now, we'll go up by here and I'll turn to the right. There's a big field and a hill. I've been up there on dual motor e-bikes, and the dual motor ones get up there easy, but I don't think this one can get up there, but we'll try. I don't want to like put too much pressure on my legs because my knees are coming up at 45 degrees. So 90 degrees, not 45. So here we go. We're going to turn up by here, like so. And then, oh, literally lost traction then. And then we're going to see if we can get up this hill, like so. Oh, it's very bumpy. It feels like plenty of power at the moment, but now this bit is super steep by here. This is very, very steep. And I am actually putting some sort of pressure on the pedals by here myself. This bit is almost vertical, and I don't want to put too much pressure on my hips, on my knees by here, but I think I'm going to stop by there. So it was putting a lot of pressure on my knees and my hips because your legs do come up at 90 degrees. I keep saying 45, 90 degrees. So if I use the throttle by here, it's not going to really, well, actually, it is dragging me up here slowly. Hey, look at that. Wait a minute. I'm going 2 miles an hour, but my feet are off the floor. It is getting me up here, look. And if I pedal a bit, come on, you can do it. I think I'm going to make it, folks. Like I said, loads of torque. Fantastic. I got to say, I think I'll stop to say it as well. I like the riding position. I don't like the pedaling position, but I like the riding position, if that makes any sense. So the riding position, fantastic. The pedaling position, for your legs, a little bit, you know, not the most comfortable thing in the world. Not uncomfortable, because you have got all the torque. And you're not going to usually go up hills like that anyway. I take these e-bikes to, not to the extreme, but sort of outside their comfort zone, I suppose. And it's very, very good. And I've just noticed by here, which I haven't noticed earlier on, there's a little carrying pouch down by here. Let me just, you must have noticed that before yourself, but there we go, let's have a look. Down here, look, little carrying pouch, built in by there, look, with a zippity doodah there, look. Have a look in there. There we go, nothing in there. There we go. I didn't notice that before. Anyway, let's do a bit more off-roading, I suppose. Up that way. Right, okay, so we're sort of off-road-ish. Well, it is off-road. The big tyres, they're doing very well on here. The rear suspension is still a bit firm. But we'll head down this way now. There's a couple of gates in front of me. Then there's a big downhill dirt track. So we'll try the brakes on the big downhill dirt track and we'll see what it's like then. But a very enjoyable e-bike. I gotta say, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. So here we go, there's the gate in front of me. I have to get through this gate here. There's another gate further on, and then there's a big cornfield by the side of me as well. And we should be able to get around this gate because it looks like it's been left open. So let's just squeeze past by here. We haven't got a very good turning circle. But anyway, let's get on the road. Right, okay. Down this little skinny path now. And then there's a big dirt road leading me back onto the main road. So we'll make our way towards there. Got to get through another gate as well. This is a good bike. Now, on the display here, it has got, when I turn it on, it's got arrows and stuff, and there is an app. So let's have a quick look at the app and see what it's all about. So there is an app to download to go with this bike. Now I noticed when I downloaded the app, I can see that it now has the time on the display by here. Now the app itself, look, is telling me at the top by here. I'll put the app by there by the side of me. I can see at the top by there, it says 40% battery level left. We got level there. So if you want to change the levels with the app, you wouldn't really do it with the app because you do it by there, but just for the argument's sake, you press level 3, you press save, and you can see on there now, it says level 3. You got your single mileage, ride time, total mileage, you got inductive unlock, LED switch, which means if I press that there, the headlight and the tail light come on. I don't know if you can see that down there. Let's press that off. Unit set, you can do it to miles or kilometers per hour. You got start mode there, which is 0 and non-zero, and then you got inductive lock, whatever. I think that locks the back. I think it locks the back wheel. I'm not quite sure what that means. But you have got lock up by here with the orange bar, and if I go like that across there, the screen goes off, and then I can't do nothing with this now. Nothing works until I unlock it on there like that. Then I got to press the on button again and it all comes back on again. So you have got navigation, vehicle info and cycling record. And when you press the navigation, it does ask for permission off your phone, to ask for permission to look at certain things. If I go to the settings up there, you can see the settings, device information, device update. Let's go back like that. And then there's me there, look. There's me. You can click to set your name, etc, etc. So there we go. There's the app as well. Right, okay, we're going over some stones. Oh, that was the app. Getting a bit muddy by here now. There's lots of rocks and stones in the way, so I'm going slow. I'm just using the throttle and going 4 miles per hour or 3.6 miles per hour or whatever it is. Anyway, here's the next gate. Let's get through here and then we'll go down that road. Right, okay, we've got to make our way down this steep off-road bit by here. Like I said earlier on, the steering, you haven't got a tight turning axis or steering axis. So I've got to be careful to try and get round here. Just about made it. Right, let's go down here now. The brakes on this off-road stuff, the tyres are gripping well, the brakes, I've only got to lightly pull on the brake levers and it stops. Look, I'll come to a stop straight away like that. And I'm only pulling lightly on the brake levers. I'll do it again like that. There we go. The tyres are gripping well. So, and you won't get any sort of fatigue in your hands because you've only got to pull the brakes very, very lightly. So the brakes are fantastic. Now, at the bottom of this steep dirt track by here, there's a little bit of a thing sticking up in the ground. So I've got to remember to go over to the right-hand side. Stay over to the right-hand side, right over here. There's a thing in the ground by there. Keep my pedal up. There we go. Made it. Right, okay. So, now, the front brake has developed a, can you hear that? It's quite loud, isn't it? The front brake has developed a squeak. Looking at the brake disc is straight. There's no buckle in the brake disc. So it probably means I got to adjust the brake caliper slightly because the disc must be ever so slightly touching the disc and is creating that sort of vibration, and it is quite loud. As soon as I touch the brake, it goes quiet. So that'll just need, probably might give it a bit of a clean as well. I might have got some muck on it going around the mountains. I'll give that a bit of a clean and everything should be hunky-dory. Right, I think I'll just go around this, to the right by here to this new housing estate. Let's put in level 3. Like that. I won't go that way. I'll go the sneaky way, which is up by here. So there is a path by here. Be careful of the road. Like that. Round here. Up there. Like that. I gotta get this brake done. Oh my word. Another big hill in front of me by here. It's going up here easy so far. I slowed down to 13 miles per hour, but 12 miles per hour. Still going up here. Still not pressing the pedals. 11 miles per hour. Still not pressing the pedals. 10 miles per hour. And it's got me up here. Okay, fantastic. Right, okay, let's go down this gravel path by here. This will take me back onto the mountain again. Bit more off-roading. I think this brake is getting on my nerves. Off-roading. The noise on the brake is I think it is the brake pads just ever so slightly kissing the disc. And it's just making that terrible noise. And we've ended up back where we were before, going back up this big hill again. Anyway, I think I'm going to make my way back down. Right, okay then, that's my review of the Evercross EK30 Pro. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!